going live. YouTube says we're live. We're trying something new. We have a new headset. If you can't hear me, which you wouldn't be able to hear this if you couldn't, let me know. For everyone else, getting real hype, getting big yawns in. I don't know where it shows where I was live at. Whew. Extra yawning today. I got up super early to catch up on some things. I apologize, everyone. But welcome, friends, enemies, and everyone in between. I'm Jackson Wood. It's a pleasure. If you're a first-time watcher, I'm so excited to have you here. And if you've watched before, then great. Oh, awesome, Mox. That is so great to have you in here. Thanks, everyone. If you haven't joined before, this is an opportunity for you to ask me questions as I go, or just in general about anything and everything under the sun. But if you don't know who I am, I work for Japanime Games. I am the marketing and events coordinator. I am also the guy who deals with sales, so if you're in the retail side, distribution, I'm also the guy you probably talk to, which is unfortunate for you because I am a doofus. Pardon me. I've got a runny nose. It's very rainy here. So yeah, let's dive right into it with just sort of the big stuff, and as always, ask your questions, comments in the chat. But let's start with the big things. Upcoming stuff next week, CHAINsomnia. It's a new Kickstarter. We didn't get to talk about it a little bit too much ahead of time just because of the way production worked out. Everything's a little goofy, but if you haven't had a chance to see it, it is adorable. I'm going to throw some graphics up here in the chat as well. But it is a fully cooperative escape game. You're going to be exploring. The whole story is that you are children who have been whisked away in your dreams from this into this demon's castle, and you are going to be exploring the castle in the night to try and escape. And if you've ever played Betrayal at House on Haunted Hill, it's got very similar mechanisms. You're going to be flipping over these tiles, you're going to be placing them, you have to make sure they make sense, and then they're going to have some kind of an event or a way to interact with them, so a way to get items or find out something or having secret passages, all of that fun stuff you would expect from a weird dream demon's, nightmares. So, that's one part of it. And then you're going to be dealing with these bad dreams, going through the castle, trying to escape. And as you get spooked, the chains will tighten around you, and if they get too tight, you'll get captured in a cage, and your friends are going to have to get you out. And then you win if you get out, and you lose if everybody gets captured in their chains, or if you just run out of events. So you have to be solving these events. It's going to be a little bit time-oriented. There is a little bit of luck as well. You have to push your luck. Thank you for that, Jess. We will absolutely talk. Sorry, I saw the message and I was like, oh, yes. It's tons of fun. If you like those kinds of games, it's, 1 to 4 players, technically. It's better with 2, but you can play by yourself. It plays in about an hour. It is gorgeous. I've put up character art here. So this is Isaac, one of the primary characters. As you can see on the left side, all along there, that is how many action points you can get based on what your chains are. So that's the chain gauge on the left-hand side, where it's got the 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, and they're all different. I'll pull another one up here in a moment. And then that's how many actions you get. And again, I love this one because of how inclusive it is. This is my whole marketing spiel, but Isaac being in a wheelchair, being in the dream state, being in the wheelchair, that's still how Isaac rolls. No pun intended, because I'm a dum-dum. And so then we have Ryan on the other side, who has a 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2 as well. I think there's somebody else who has a different one, which I'm going to keep pulling them up. Different abilities, but because they're barefoot, they have the barefoot symbol. And so, very accessible. Story-wise, too, for not using bad words, but I'm going to use bad words. Ryan's a bastard. He's a bastard of the king. And then we'll put Chloe over Ryan. Ryan's got 3. Chloe's got a 3 all the way down. All of these characters are different. They're all so much fun to play. Check it out when it goes live. You'll get to see the rule book. If everything goes according to plan, I will have it up on Tabletopia as well, so you get to play it. You get to do little demos of it and have fun with it over the Kickstarter itself. But again, any questions about things, ask as we go. That's a big one. I believe beyond that, let's move on to the next thing. Heather, on the other side of things, put updates out on the Kickstarters saying that things are going to be arriving soon. So, we've got a lot of really exciting news for you as products are going to start arriving and unpackaging and being shipped out to all of you. So you can look forward to that. Things like Testament and Tanto. We should be getting Ramen and Last Brave soon, which is not Kickstarter related, but we've been waiting on those for a while just because of shipping and production. So those are coming. We're really hyped for it. We haven't made an official announcement yet, just because we don't have a firm date, but we have been given confirmation that things are coming. So I hear this is one of those little teasers of next week you can expect an official announcement, probably Monday, Tuesday, I would suspect. Maybe Wednesday at the latest. But right now, here's the, stuff's coming. Woo! Excitement. And I don't know how far behind the stream is either, so I'll see you out there. Yeah, all those things are moving along. Tokyo Sidekick is coming. It's at least getting out of production. It's taken longer than expected. Yeah. So that's sort of the update on those things. Heather put out a slew of updates. Those were the big ones. There's some unofficial stuff. And then CHAINsomnia being upcoming. Let's talk about upcoming projects. Because this is always exciting for me, and this is a great place to ask questions. Japanime Tactics and Black Clover. That's the first part there. One, Japanime Tactics launching with Grand Blue Fantasy by Japanime Games as its flagship starting IP. You can likely expect Black Clover characters to make an appearance in Japanime Tactics as well. And dare I say, perhaps other IPs that we have already dealt with in our catalog. So there's some fun tidbits there, where hopefully we'll get some more approvals this next week where we can start showing some things off. We're really excited to show off the game box. I want to show off game cards. I want to start doing streams of Josh and I doing playtest sessions and design sessions. So when he and I are talking about design elements, when we're creating things, tweaking things, working things over in real time, grinding math, I really want to show that stuff off to you all. So, ideally, that will be coming soon as well. So look forward to that. But Japanime Tactics is pretty much, the starters. There are 2 starters, and they are ready and set and exciting. Can't talk about the characters, but 2 of those. There are a number of expansion characters already done, and there are a number of other characters that I can't talk about just yet that aren't accomplished. So that's very exciting there. Objectives for objective-based play. If you're a miniatures style player like I am, I came from a huge War Machine and Hordes background. I played pretty much every miniatures game under the sun. And then I ended up going to work for a miniatures company as my first foray into the games industry. And yeah, I love miniatures game. And this game is filling that particular niche that I love. If you play X-Wing or Legion or any of the miniatures games on the markets or other, tactical games, this one is unique. I think you're going to be real hyped when you play. It's been... the iterations right now are so nitty-gritty for, corner case things, just to, smooth out those weird edges already. That's where we're finding it. Chef's kiss. I'm so excited. So, the Japanime Tactics, Black Clover, working theory, if you're a big fan like I am, worker placement game. I'm just stoked. I love worker placement games. It's also a style of game we don't have a lot of in our catalog. We have tons of deck builders, which we love, and we are going to keep bringing you more of those, so don't worry about that. We also like bringing you a bunch of other interesting games. That's why we have Naruto Ninja Arena coming up, which is like that simultaneous dice game. Testament being another cooperative deck building game. Or not Testament, but Tokyo Sidekick. Testament also being cooperative, but less deck building and more JRPG style cooperative, which is like super hype. So, trying to hit all of these different new categories. Racing game? Who knows? Exciting things like that. I also have other exciting news, but it isn't about products. So, as always, ask questions if you have them. I will put timestamps in later when I have the time and I remember. I've been really bad about it, and I apologize. But ask questions. I'll answer them as we go. No problems about that. But moving on to the next thing, we are going to be revamping, and I guess that's really the baseline there. It's kind of two parts. Team Japanime, so our volunteer initiative, our volunteer program, is changing again. We are wanting to add new components to it. And part of being a volunteer means that you get games, you get to go to conventions when that's a thing, you get access to cool stuff. We're going to hopefully start creating volunteer-only incentives in the future as well, so things that you can only get by doing things with us. We know a number of you do. We know a number of you would love to. I would love for you to talk to me about that, especially because I know a number of you are great at our games, and I bet you would do great at demoing our games, or just, hanging out playing them. But anyway, we're looking for things like video production. We want to work with people to do live streams. So if you like live streaming, you want to work with other live streamers and content creators, we want to start putting things together. And that means like getting free copies of games like Tanto Kure Digital. So if that's something you're interested in, that's something we can work out. Again, I want to start like working on that and promoting new streamers and new content creators. We're also going to be redesigning our Discord. So, like Mox, who came from our Discord, we have a number of things in the works. If you've seen Ian's name around in blue, one of the alpha testers for Tanto, Ian's been giving me a wonderful hand in doing a lot of this stuff because I'm not the biggest expert when it comes to these digital mediums. I like to be plugged in, but I'm not the best at it. It's new for me. It's an emerging skill set. But we had a lot of really great ideas, so we're going to start doing things like Rambles, where maybe we're going to come in and we're going to be doing a live stream of a game on Discord, and we'll be giving away stream keys or, beta keys to you folks who are the first ones to jump in with us. Or maybe we're going to be doing interviews or things like that with other content creators or cool folks in the industry, which leads me to the sort of segue of Ian in general. They are going to be doing a stream with Wasabi Anime. So if you've ever been to like anything done by Green Mustard, those folk, not Anime Wasabi. There's one that's right, one that's wrong, but folks that do a ton of conventions, they are doing live streaming as well, and Ian is going to be doing stuff with us through them to do a ton of things. And the first set, starting on the 23rd of this month for reasons, is going to be Eric first. So we're going to have Eric on, and he's going to talk about Japanime Games and its history and Tanto in general. It's all Tanto themed for the first month, so 4 weeks of Tanto from different perspectives. And then it's going to be me, being the new guy, being the one of the newest hires. There's actually some new hires that we haven't talked about yet. But me being new and being like fresh to Japanime Games and like how I am in the industry and how I approach Tanto and like what all those things mean, and what the future is. Pardon me. What that all looks like. That's me next. Then for those beta testers and alpha testers, we're going to have Conrad on. So Conrad Rusted, the designer, the developer for Tanto Kure Digital, is going to come on and talk about that aspect and hang out and chat. And so that's week number 3. But week number 4, and that's why I'm hyping this whole thing up, is Ross Allison. So if you know Ross, there's a Tanto promo of Ross. He worked on Tanto 5, Winter Romance. It was his concept, more or less, that got approved for Tanto 5. Like 4 and 5 are more kind of designed by Japanime in some regards, and Eric will likely talk about that in week 1. But Ross was a part of that. And he's going to talk about what it's been like working on Tanto, working on that aspect of Tanto, and what that might mean for the future for things like Tanto Mato and other projects. I know there was a very, very awesome discussion about Tanto in general on the Discord just before we went live a little bit ago. So I always like to sort of touch on those touchstones and keep relevant when I can. And so that's one of those ones where it's like, yeah, it's gonna be fucking dope. I'm hyped for it. Pardon me while I drink some water. You gotta hydrate. I'm not gonna make you listen to me drink water though, as best I can. Taking them big gulps. And so those are kind of the big things there. And this is where we get to the point where we hang out for a little while, we bullshit, we chat, we catch up. I ask you all what you've been playing video game-wise, what questions you might have, and it can be anything. It can be personal from me. It can be about Kickstarters and projects. But the floor is yours to hang out. I see that there's 3 viewers on my side. It's not a lot, but that doesn't matter. You're all very important to me. So let's hang out. While I am waiting for things to more or less catch up to me, and I see your questions based on whatever goofy thing I'm saying, we'll just kind of go into it. You know, that's me checking emails for work because I'm still working, and I'm a goofball, and I can't help it. I'm a monster. But this is a perfect time to ask me anything you want. It can be goofy questions about what my favorite food is, to when the last time I, took a walk was. It doesn't matter. I'm just here to hang out and just kind of BS for a little bit. But I would love to hear what people have been playing, what you want to know, all that cool stuff. If you have been following me on social media at all, which can be hard, I'm very picky, I apologize. I've been playing Bravely Default 2. I did not play the first one or its sequel at all. I had no idea about that. But I was jonesing for a JRPG. And I love it. And in talking with a friend of mine, they told me about Bravely Default, the first one, and like what its plot was, and I was like, oh, it's not that. I would not have liked that. This one is much more like, there's some MacGuffins, get them, and you're like, okay, cool. But JRPG, job system, I'm a sucker for that. If you've ever listened to me talk about anything, I've probably talked about Final Fantasy Tactics and how it's my favorite game in the world, and if you tell me otherwise, I'll probably die. That's mostly a joke for my friend Travis, if ever he tunes in, because he likes to tell me it's the worst game ever, just as a joke. It's not. Everybody has their preferences, but it's my favorite. I love the combination of a grid-style tactical game, which is why Japanime Tactics is so exciting to me. The job class system, which was so intricate and granular, where you could fill the different slots for your support abilities, for your reactions, etc. Bravely Default 2 does not have that. It has a very basic job system where you have 5 slots, and your passive abilities, when you learn them for your job, take some number of them. I've only ever seen 1 or 2. So, yeah. Oh, Max, I've not played Aeon's End, really, but I should. I'm glad that you've been, grinding that and, having fun with it. I have this sort of hierarchy of if I can play board games, that's my number one, and then I do video games if I can't, and then television or reading otherwise, depending on my mood. But of course, different desire levels. Sometimes you'll just read. Like when The Power was out a couple weeks ago, due to the weather in Portland, Oregon, I read like 2 books in a day because that's just what I was like. All right, cool, it's time to read. Let's do it. I do like to take a walk daily. That was like a trick question, but it's more just like, yeah, I get outside. I don't get to be active like I like to, which is usually rock climbing. I really enjoyed indoor rock climbing, so that was my big deal. But yeah, the weather hasn't been great. It's been real rainy out here, so I feel you. But I like it. I don't mind being inside. It's very cozy for me. I like the social aspect. I especially like the face-to-face social. Like, the in-between is if I can play a digital version of a board game. So, like, I would play Tanto over playing, like, Bravely Default 2, probably, just because I'd get to play with my friends or otherwise. And keep an eye out. I do hop in on the beta and jump into people's games. So, be careful. Sometimes I will hop into your game and bully you. Be ready for it. You can also request me to play a game with you. I may not be able to, but I'm always down if I have the time. And I love hanging out with folks. So, you're always welcome. This is kind of my invitation, like, welcome to my inner circle. Like, we're all friends here, because at the end of the day, we are. Like, just be good to each other, and I'm a happy man. I have been playing a lot of Terraforming Mars because of the Humble Bundle. I love that game. Also Spirit Island, which is always at the top. Yeah, I like co-op multiplayer games the most. Like, I like co-op games the most, so it kind of lends to that. You don't have to hop back on it. I appreciate people testing, and you have been phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's a reason why I come to the people I do. There's a reason why you are among the alpha testers. Specifically, when it was Team Japanime is what I was offered to first for those slots, and then I was like, I have people I know who would be interested, and so you got to see that in the Blue Navy, which is no disrespect to anybody else on the Discord, but the way to get my attention is be active, hang out, have conversations, because then I'm like, oh, what's going on over there? Because I cannot leave something, like, it's really hard for me to leave a notification alone. It's part of my social media, like, job, is I'm wired in, and so I'm like, give it to me. Ooh, you should, Mox. I love it. I'm gonna gush for a moment in that I hate Catan. And it's nothing against Catan. It's just not a game I enjoy. I always end up just getting, like, diced out of the game. I don't know what my luck is with it. It just doesn't agree with me, and I hate it. And people don't want to trade with me, and it's a bad time. That's just them not, like, making the game fun for me as well. So anyway, that on the table, Spirit Island being the exact opposite is so much fun for me. I love the territory control aspect. I love how variable each game is because of the powers, but getting to, like, work through them. Each spirit being so unique is so satisfying. Like, each one is so well crafted. And I just picked up Jagged Earth, which is the expansion for it, the newest expansion. There's Branch and Claw, which is great. It has one of my two favorite top spirits. I don't know what the second one is yet, just because I haven't played all the new ones. Played most of them. But all of the new spirits and the new mechanics in Jagged Earth are amazing. Like, some of these new spirits are buck wild. I wasn't even getting bored with the spirits I had yet, and then all these new ones showed up. And they have the promo spirits, just like any game with promos. It's got so much. It's phenomenal. I love it. There's a reason it's, like, one of my top 2 games of all time. Period. It always is. But I don't know what the number 2 spirit is in that game, I couldn't tell you. There's a lot of love. And I also love worker placement games. Like, I'm a giant nerd in that regard. I love Agricola or Agricola or Caverna and those kinds of games. Uwe Rosenberg is a phenomenal designer. Don't feel bad. Never feel bad. Thank you for being, like, responsive to my reaching out. Like, I can't do these things without you folks. Like, it is you, our wonderful community, that allows me to do awesome things like this. Like, you know, if you've been having a good time with it, if you've been putting bug reports in when they come up, when you do play, that's all that matters. And we've been able to, like, steadily grow from, like, the handful of you to, you know, so many people. I can't recommend it highly enough also because, like, Greater Than Games in general have some of my favorite people. Maggie Clayton, their marketing person, is one of my favorites. I got to know them better through Elle over at Deepwater Games, who I've gushed about as well because also a favorite person, through my time doing conventions when that was a thing and getting to go to PAX East. So, amazing people out there, especially in this industry, and Greater Than Games. They make phenomenal products. I loved Sentinels of the Multiverse well before Spirit Island, and then Spirit Island came out, and I was like, dang, this is the level of crunch that I love. I have played Keyflower in E3, and I'm glad that you're here too. I always love seeing people. I haven't played it in a while, but I have played Keyflower. That is a good one. When I wanted to get it back when, I want to remember when it came out, and I have to look it up on Board Game Geek. Yeah. Like, it was so hard to get hold of at the time. That was back when I was working in a retail store before I bought it. And yeah, you couldn't get it anywhere. It was impossible to get your hands on it. It was so difficult. And then I think I played it, I don't know, like 5 years ago, which doesn't sound that long, but then we're like, oh yeah, 2012. Like, I didn't even get to play it until the time after. But I like that one too. Lords of Waterdeep is usually my gold standard when it comes to worker placement games. Just in terms of accessibility, it's sort of like here you go, like everything's positive points. It's pretty straightforward. Everything is iconographic. You can be like, okay, cube colors, sweet. Money, got it. Put dude man's, dude people's places, get stuff, get points. And it sort of spurs you in the direction you want to go with all the lords. That's why I like it. But I think every game has different things to offer, and I think that's what's so great about the space that we get to occupy. I know for me, it's part of what I love. And I always love plugging other designers as well. Like, I know a number of you in our Discord also hang out in other people's Discords that are similar to us, like Lion Wing and Level 99, and those people are phenomenal too. So if we're just talking about, like, games that we love right now, or people to, like, hang out and check out their games, go check all the cool stuff that those people are doing. I mean, obviously, like, we want to be doing those cool things too, but we're all, in some capacity, rooting for each other to do cool projects. So definitely check those folks out. I cannot highly recommend it enough. But I'm going to start wrapping up, as I do. It's always so great chatting with you all. This is the time to ask questions. Let me know what you might want to know about. Maybe you'll get a teaser. Maybe you'll get real secrets. Who knows? But this is your time. I'm going to go till a little bit after 4:30 my time. So like 4:31, 4:32. That way, if the lag between me saying these words and you getting to hear them, a couple of minutes. And of course, if you're asking a decent amount of questions, I'll hang out longer. But it seems like it's kind of slowing up, and I'm going to be reorganizing at some point. changing the space, making it a little bit more accessible in my own room in here. Trying to think things I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, Besom stuff. If you're excited about Besom, yeah, stay tuned. There's definitely things upcoming with that we're pretty excited to talk about when it comes up. Yeah, there's so many things that I would love to do with that. One of the top priorities on my list there, just kind of rambling. That's a good question. I do have an answer for that. But it's not a good answer. It just kind of slips out of mind mostly because there's anything we could do with it. I'll talk about Sushi Boat. Whatever I was talking about didn't matter. It is delayed right now. It's been a little bit back and forth on production models for it. It's such a gorgeous game, and something kept going wrong in the prototyping. And so each time we got, it was like, no, this is not what we asked for. And so there was some back and forth on that. It's been settled, so it's in production. It's come along. Box art's all been finalized. Like, that was all done, but now it's like done. I know we showed that off a little bit with the Kiko, so we should be showing that soon. I believe going into next week, you'll get to see a little bit more on Sushi Boat, if I remember the calendar correctly. I'm not looking at it, so it's not helpful. But it's coming. I'm hyped for that. That's another worker placement game that is high on my list. I want a copy of that in my house right now so bad. I mean, Ramen and The Last Brave too. I want those to arrive as quickly as possible. Because the sooner they do, I get to talk to Brendan and get Brendan on here and get to have a chat with them about all of these things going on. Get them to talk about their games, which I want. I'll love bringing designers on and getting to chat with them, so you folks get to ask them questions too. But we're gonna keep winding down, so we're getting toward the end. So I'll take one or two more questions if there are any. But it seems like there's not. And of course, if you don't have any questions out, you can always hit me up on Discord or Facebook, Instagram. Like, if you reach out to us on social media, we'll be there. Sushi Boat is dope. It is. Yeah, like I said, I'm really excited for it. It's gonna jump up there in terms of worker placement games. I don't think it'll replace Lords of Waterdeep, but I think it's gonna be a really close second. It'll probably be among the many games I recommend to people to get interested into worker placement games, depending on what they want to do. I just like giving people a lot of options. And in that same way, tying it back in, same as social media. However you like to chat with us, I'm going to be there for you. Be it Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm sorry I'm not on TikTok, so I guess I lied 5 seconds before I already said this, so fuck. Or Discord. I mean, Discord's the easiest one. You can at me, and I'll probably answer it at some point during the day, unless it's a weekend. Then it's a coin flip. But as always, I love you all, and we're gonna boogie. I'm gonna go eat dinner and hang out. Goodbye. Badoo.